Hey guys and fellow whiskey lovers, this is Leon Malt Mariners Whiskey Roads, and today I am going to show you a couple of whiskeys that I think are really worth mentioning that I experienced in 2023, category World Whiskey. Welcome back to my channel, thanks for watching. Don't be surprised, I just had a surgery, so this is not... It looks a bit like for fighting like Muay Thai. That's not what I'm doing with this. Today we are basically going through the top 10 whiskeys, category world whiskeys that I really enjoyed this year and that I want you guys to know about. I'm just checking if my sound is running smoothly here. It is, and we're going through that alphabetically. So no numbers. The number 1 is not the best. The number 10 is not the worst. It's just the alphabet order that I'm mentioning these whiskeys to you. So for the first one, we will go to France. France is, like you know, a country that's very close to my heart when it comes to whiskey. I'm traveling a lot through France and I'm visiting a lot of French whiskey distilleries. And this year, the Armorique 10 years old really got my attention in a blind tasting I did with some guys and some girls and some whiskey lovers. It really made a very good impression. 14 people rated this whiskey blindly, better and higher than a 21-year-old Glengoyne, than an 18-year-old Balblair. All whiskeys that are much more expensive, much older than this whiskey. And they rated it to be older, they rated it to be in a higher price range. So this whiskey really delivered. I personally very much like this. Armorique has a very appley and salty kind of distillery character, and this one is a very nice mix. I think it is bourbon and sherry cask, maturation in bourbon and sherry cask, non-chill filter without any caramel added. It's 55 euros in Germany. I hope you guys can get this in the UK and in the USA and in New Zealand and wherever you are right now watching this video. Brittany, really an interesting area for whiskey in my opinion. Armorique 10 years old. This is my recommendation on the number 1. If you don't get the 10 years old, you can easily grab yourself the double maturation. I think this is a really good whiskey as well. And in Germany, we only pay 35 euros for this. So very nice. Well done indeed, Brittany. Number 1. Here we go. Number 2. The number 2 goes to Filey Bay in Yorkshire, to the Spirits of Yorkshire distillery. And I had the pleasure having a little conversation with David Thompson, the owner of the distillery, on the bottle market in Bremen. That was lovely. I could tell him in person that I really like his whiskey. And I think that Filey Bay is doing a great job creating a really unique profile, because their whiskey is a single malt whiskey, but it's not like a proper single malt whiskey in terms of, it's not distilled on a double distillation pot still like in Scotland. They have like a sort of like a hybrid still. So they're creating, and they can do that because in England they don't have the rule that a single malt has to be distilled on a pot still like in Scotland. And their whiskey is much lighter. It's much... it's very light and fruity and approachable. It's a perfect summer whiskey, and I really enjoy Filey Bay. So I'm thinking about doing a video. Maybe I'm putting the video on this channel, on the English channel. And for the recommendation, I will recommend the Filey Bay IPA finish to you guys. We pay about 70 bucks in Germany. That is euros, obviously. I hope that you guys in the UK don't pay as much, because it's a whiskey from the UK, but like, you know, in Scotland, for example, the whiskies are more expensive than in Germany. So yeah, fingers crossed for you guys that wherever you are in the world, you can get some of Filey Bay's whiskies and you can try it. I really like this whiskey, and I think it's a good recommendation for a world whiskey. When I talk about world whiskies, I personally say in this category I will include non-Scotch and non-American whiskies. I will include Irish whiskies because I don't have enough Irish whiskies on the board to make a top 10 Irish whiskey list this year. So usually when I talk about world whiskey, I would exclude Scotch, American and Irish whiskies. Today we're talking about world whiskies plus Ireland. That being said, we're going to India. And in this list today, I want to recommend the Trini from Indri. This is something happened in the back. I think the ghosts are not really happy that I'm making such a big amount of noise here. yeah, like what I said, we're back in India. Maybe that's the Indian ghosts that are haunting me for drinking their whiskey. The Indian angels. Oh my God, the Indian angels are haunting me for drinking their whiskey. Okay, all funs aside. Non-chill filled, non-colored. In Germany, we pay 35 euros for this. This was very exotic, a lot of exotic fruits, exotic spices. Tended a bit to be on the chemical and the artificial flavory side. So if you're sensitive about these things, maybe that's not a whiskey for you. But if you like Havalan, for example, if you like some bourbons, and if you're into exotic kind of single malts, then you might really like this one. And I think it's very much worth your time. Honorable mention in this case, obviously, to Amrut Peated and to Paul John Bold, both very, very good Indian whiskies and with a very good price tag as well. So I think they are worth mentioning here in this category as well. Number 4 goes to Kavalan to Taiwan, the Kavalan Concertmaster, a very lovely single malt with a port cask finish. It is fruity, it is slightly spicy, it's 40%, so it's quite easy to drink. But I really enjoy this whiskey. It is like lush with all candies, with like a candy. It's like a liquid candy store, to be honest. So a very, very good whiskey. And in Germany we have about 55 euros for this. So that is a really good value for money. I hope you guys have an equally good price tag. I will try to find out what you guys pay in the UK and in the USA for this, and include it in my tagline. But yeah, just for the video, I haven't prepared it. Sorry about that. Number 5, we go to Africa. Very unusual. Namibia. Well done, Namibia. Onjaba triple grain. This is I think this is probably as exotic as it gets. This is made from 3 different grains, including millet, and it is kilned. It's dried. The malt is dried over elephant dung. So that is really, really crazy. And you can literally taste the elephant flavors in this whiskey. It really tastes and smells a bit like when you're walking past an elephant cage or an elephant area in the zoo. So this is very, very interesting, very crazy, very freaky. And I would say if you want to do around the world whiskey tasting, if you want to surprise people, if you want to really sort of freak people out, that's the way to go. On Jabba, Namibian whiskey, lovely bottle, and I think it's wine cask matured, so there's a lot of like sweet, fruity flavors in here. I really enjoyed this whiskey. Big recommendation. We pay roughly about $70 in Germany for this, so not cheap, but I think it's absolutely worth your money and worth your time, because this is a delicious freak. So then we have the Redbreast Cask Strength. This is a cracking whiskey. 12 years old, pot still whiskey, Redbreast single pot still Irish whiskey, cask strength. I have the version with 56.3 ABV. It's batch number B121. So this is a batch whiskey, comes out I think every year. I haven't tried different ones. I have only tried this one, and I think this was absolutely perfect. So as much as Irish whiskies can go, this was my personal favorite Irish whiskey. I like the 12-year-old standard bottling with 40%, but this one took the thing to a higher level, and I think this is absolutely worth your money, which in this case would be about 70 to 80 euros if you live in Germany. If you live in other countries, like I said, I'll check out the price tag when I do this video. Following that, we are going to Australia. And in Australia, we have Starward. This distillery really skyrocketed in the last couple of years. And they managed to give us in Germany a whiskey that's called Left Field. And we only pay 35 euros for this. And I think this is a very good price tag for a whiskey that is matured in wine cask, has traveled such a long way, and is really good value for money. And Australia in total is a very interesting category of whiskey, but for a very long time Australia was very hard to get, like for us in Europe at least, and therefore I'm really happy that Starward made it happen for us to try this whiskey, to drink this whiskey on a regular basis. So Starward Left Field is I think it's my number 6 here. 7, 8, no, it's my number 8. No, I'm on 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is my number 7. Number 8, we're going to the neighbors of Australia. We're going to New Zealand. And this time it was hard for me to pick one because I visited 3 distilleries. I visited Thompson Distillery, Pocono Distillery, and Waiheke Distillery. And if you would ask me just singly for my personal flavored whiskey, I would probably choose the Waiheke port cask finish, a peaty whiskey from Waiheke, but this is so hard to get, so my pick will land on Thompson, on the Thompson Manuka Smoke. This is very good indeed as well. We pay $70 for this in Germany, and this is a very interesting whiskey because it's like dried over Manuka smoke from the Manuka wood, and that gives that whiskey a very unique kind of spicy and herb, almost like a herbs flavor, not herbs and how to say that, a heathery kind of flavor. And yeah, I really like that kind of a dry. It's a bit like a dry white wine, fruity, sweet, mixed with some citrusy notes and some nice heathery flavors. So that was really, really good. Yeah, Thompson Manuka Smoke. That's my number 7. Number 8, and that might be quite tricky for you guys to get if you're not living in Germany. That was a German whiskey. It's a cask strength whiskey from the Sauerländer Edelbrennerei, which is Thousand Mountains McRaven single malt whiskey. So this is quite unique. This is I think it's a wine cask maturation, non-chill filtered, natural color, and it was bottled at 59.5 ABV. We pay 70 euros for this in Germany. I really enjoyed this in terms of German whiskey. If you would like me to do a video about German whiskey, let me know in the comments. Would be really interesting to do that. And yeah, last but not least, we go back to Ireland, to Waterford. Waterford is a very good distillery. Indeed, they make a lot of young whiskies from different farms. The non-peated versions didn't really float my boat that much, but I really enjoyed the Ballybannon peated version. And this year, the biggest surprise for me was the Argot, or Argot. This is a whiskey that we pay about 50 euros in Germany for, and I think this is a really good price point for such a tasty and very well and rounded whiskey. I really like this one. It has a subtle background smoke. It was quite complex for such a young whiskey. And yes, I really, really like this one. So the Waterford Argot, or Argot, that is my number 10 for the world whiskies. So now it's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments what kind of world whiskies would you recommend? What did I miss? What should I try maybe? And should I do a video about whiskies that I would like to try, for example? I'm just working on a list for distilleries that I would like to get to know better in the next year. Maybe I'll do a top 10 video about American whiskies, and I probably will do a video about top 10 Scotch peated and unpeated. Obviously as well, let me know in the comments which of these categories would be the most interesting to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you down the road.